Corvus Belli celebrates the latest incarnation of the Imperial Service. Join us for a few minutes and behold the concept design process. Here we go. In the case of the Celestial Guards, we tried to redesign a classic Infinity unit that already has a fairly established image in the setting. We start from the base of a Jianshi, but with the challenge of achieving something new, and that keeps the already established tone. The helmet is very important here since it must be still recognizable, but at the same time bringing something new to emphasize the police character of the troop, we have added a belt of elements, characteristic of citizen defense units. We have also decided to add a body cam so that Imperial commanders have information in real time. The Imperial agents experience a radical transformation. We abandoned the previous design, which did not convince us, to create a new aesthetic. We keep the ceremonial clothing, but the focus is now on the helmet, with a crane-inspired helmet design. This is an elite heavy infantry whose presence irradiates a certain aura of superiority, an armor that breathes status and Imperial privileges. The Imperial Agent Pheasant rank is the evolution of a Celestial Guard design base with more layers and clothing to represent a superior category. Keeping the connection with the original design is one of the guidelines to follow with this type of process. This type of unit is associated with an especially intimidating authority, both for the enemy and for the troops under his command. The Pheasant is both a police commander and a political commissar. Those without name now bear the scars of their past on their faces. In this update, we have focused on capturing in greater detail the suffering they have experienced, giving them a tougher appearance, and thus showing a past that has left marks on their bodies. We must never forget that this regiment is made up of prisoners who are offered a reduced sentence if they loyally serve the state empire. This makes us think of soldiers who are less disciplined and respectful with their uniforms, capable of adding their own marks to their armor plates. The Bayara Palace Guard is an elite security force composed solely of agents of Manchurian origin. By being of a specific ethnicity, we wanted to further differentiate their appearance, which is why they wear a helmet that is completely different from what we had done until now. The Guard's companion, the Shi Wen, dragon gargoyle, is a complex mechanical device that serves as an escort and protector of its master. The design of the Shi Wen, inspired by the symbol of the Dragon Emperor, presents a cold and inhuman look combined with slightly anthropomorphic features. The function of a mechanical creature with these characteristics is undeniably dissuasive, focused on instilling fear in the hearts of those who dare to doubt the state empire supremacy. The design of the Koga ninjas was all about giving them a sinister presence, appropriate for the role of a silent assassin under the orders of an ancient and tradition-filled institution. It had to look like a dark shadow, but with identifying details even at the silhouette level, thus moving away from the typical tight, high-tech suit of other ninjas. The most identifying piece is this type of traditional Japanese black kasa hat. We believe that the design of the Koga ninja speaks for itself. Their loyalty is bought, not earned, and once the deal is closed, they do their part as long as yours is paid. We conceived the Jinyao as a robotic unit with the capacity for aerial deployment, transported by a high-capacity drone together with other identical units. The Jinyao should have the capacity to fold up and thus minimize the space occupied in transport. When dropped over enemy positions, the wings should allow it to control its fall and guarantee a precise landing. This whole imaginary sequence sets the decisions of its design and leads us to this remote with the appearance of a poisonous wasp. For this troop, we decided that it had arms that could hold the weaponry like a regular infantry, discarding the idea of integrated in the body like a classic remote. The Imperial Tag Police, known as Longwang, was one of the first troops to be designed for the new Imperial Service. It started from a common base with the Blue Wolf, the manned armor from the White Banner Army. The design evolved from that point, and then we played with variables that gave it the appearance of a police vehicle with less aggressive lines and a peacekeeping character. The color scheme has very intentional traits with decals and markings typical of a vehicle that has to deal with traffic and pedestrians. We understand that this tag has to intervene in densely populated areas with possible collateral damage, so we have to communicate to the civilian population that they must cooperate and obey everything they hear over the loudspeaker. The Dragon Lord, despite having a playable profile, has always been conceived as a HVT. This figure was created as a high-ranking officer whose outfit reflects his high status. Wearing such formal attire proclaims belonging to a higher class without the need for words. A richer color palette with a tendency towards gold allows us to appreciate that he is not so much a military asset as something more related to the political sphere in the chain of command. This has been a tiny glimpse of the creative process behind the latest Imperial Service miniatures. We hope it has been interesting for you. Thanks for your attention. Keep connected.